Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Saturday, but without that weekend feeling. Now I'm here to have a little look at the latest plans for football in the Premier League, the Bundesliga, the Dutch League and UEFA's current format that they're proposing to decide European fixtures. And that is sporting merit. That's the current buzzword at the minute. And they're basically, obviously, they've got to come up with a plan. How do we decide who gets European spaces? Should football not be played to a finish, which has happened in some countries, but we'll get on to that. I'm going to stick with the UEFA thing first of all. And their sporting merit proposal is either A, playoffs, but then if you can't finish the season, then how can you have playoffs anyway? So I think that's sort of out the window for most countries. And then the other one is being bandied about is points per game. It's quite a simple formula. You take the points tally thus far in the league, divide it by the amount of games played, and multiply it by how many games are usually in the league. So the Premier League, you multiply it by 38, and that would be your points tally, whatever it comes to at the end. And then the table's sorted by that, and then you do your European ones. Now for the Premier League, the top four would be Liverpool, City, Leicester, and Chelsea. Fourth. Chelsea would be fourth. I like it. I like this idea for deciding European places, because what you're doing is you're rewarding teams for what they've achieved so far this season, because it's not their fault that football can't be played to a finish, but I think they deserve to be rewarded, certainly over those who played in European football this season and perhaps weren't going to qualify. Spurs is a prime example here. They weren't going to be qualified for Champions League next season, but if everything gets voided and we just pick up where we left off, they're back in it next year, and that would be harsh, especially on someone like Leicester City, who are not punched above their weights, but they've jumped up a little bit in terms of performance in their season. So I think it's good. I like it. The Europa League, just so you know, the Europa League would be Man United and Sheffield United. The points per game thing would be Wolves would be the one that misses out here, because Wolves currently are above Sheffield United, but Sheffield United have a game in hand. So with the points per game thing, Sheffield United actually jump over Wolves. And again, as harsh as it is being a Wolves fan, I quite like this because it's rewarding Sheffield United for their season. England also obviously do have an extra Europa League spot, which is for the FA Cup, but I cannot see that being played to a finish regardless of what happens. So then Wolves would get that place in the league. So that's what the European spaces for next season will look like. Big ticks as far as I'm concerned. Arsenal and Spurs would obviously miss out, but so they should. Look at their performance this season. Look where they are in the league thus far. You could make a case that Arsenal in particular might have nicked at least a Europa League spot. I would probably agree with that, to be honest with you, given their form. They've started to play a bit better and start to climb the table, but it's no one's fault. It's just the way it is. However, I would hate to see this. I've seen then pundits, in particular Jamie Carragher. Now we all know why Jamie Carragher would be a fan of this, because he's obviously thinking, well, Liverpool then get the title, don't they? That's not really what anyone's proposing here, but it became a bit of a hypothetical thing. Should we use points per game to establish the entire Premier League 1 to 20, bottom 3 go down, Liverpool get the title, next one's in Champions League, and so on and so forth? I hate the idea of the relegation zones being decided by this. And West Ham would be safe. West Ham would stay up just on the points per game thing. So it's not like a completely biased opinion, because it doesn't really impact us. If anything, it benefits us. But you cannot relegate teams, anyone, on the back of what has happened so far. I think it's okay for the European spots, but you're basically removing a team's sort of like, I don't know, right to stay up, I guess, if you want. You're removing that from them, and that's not fair, because you're then deciding what could have, you're not even considering what could have happened between now and the end of the season, and that's just not on. I don't think anyone could get relegated on this. I think there'd be a load of legal battles as well if that happened. And to be fair, I've not really seen anyone of sort of importance at the FA or anything like that discussing it. It's mainly pundits, as they need topics to talk about. So do I, hence doing this video. So yeah, I wouldn't like to see it for relegation zones whatsoever. I think that would be mental. I think there's only two options. Either A, you avoid it, no one goes down, or B, you play the season out, which is what I think is going to happen. I think it's not really, everyone expects that to happen now, and that's because of the Bundesliga. I spoke last week, are we missing football? I did a video, are we missing football? And I'm still going to say no, I'm not missing it as much, but with confirmation now that German football is returning on the 9th of May, I'm starting to get a bit excited, truth be told. I'm looking forward to it, watching German football. We all need a German team. If you've got a German team at home, let me know in the comments who your German team is already. If you haven't, we're going to need to come up with a way of picking. Everyone needs to have a German team for the 9th of May now. It's someone to root for until we get our Premier League football back, until West Ham are back. We need a German side to cling to. But the Bundesliga is back. 9th of May. It's been signed off by governments. 322 people on the ground at capacity. That's including every single person, the players through to the broadcasters, the physios, the groundsmen. 322 players have to wash their own kit. I find that a bit of a strange one, to be honest with you. I kind of get the idea behind it, but it's not as straightforward as that, is it? Because players are touching each other's kits during the game. I don't know. Players are not going to be able to swap shirts at the end of the match either, are they? But the German football, you have to remember, German football have been back in training for 3 weeks now. They've been back in training. You have to assume there's been no major issues, or this wouldn't be going ahead. But there is a big leap from sort of training. Every club's doing it differently at the minute. While most German clubs are back in some form, they're all some are doing. I believe some have got like some players in on a Monday, then they don't come in on the Tuesday, and different players come in on Tuesday. So they've actually broken their sessions up for certain players to do certain weeks, so there's not that many in a group. Eventually, now that the football is coming back, they're all going to have to sort of go back to proper training to get ready for the physical games. And this is where, if there is any issues, it's going to pop up. And I think the Premier League now are going to use the Bundesliga as a trial. I think we're going to be watching it from afar and thinking, right, okay, let's see how this goes. And if it goes well, if German football goes ahead and there's no issues for the first 2-3 fixtures, match weeks, I think that'll encourage the Premier League. But if there is an issue, and I guess we've all got different opinions to what an issue is. One person being confirmed to have the virus, an issue, possibly not. It depends how you want to view it. But should there be issues over there, I think it might scare the Premier League. Actually, I think we're very much going to be watching how they go about it. But I hope it works. I do hope it works, not just for health reasons for the people involved, but for a bit of normality, I guess. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. The Dutch football's been cancelled, hasn't it? That's been scored off. But I've seen a lot of people say, well, we've got to do the same now. But the difference is the Dutch government have banned live sport until the 1st of September. So even if the Dutch said we're going to play our season to a finish, they literally cannot do anything until the 1st of September at the very earliest. So their hands were forced, and that's a big difference. That's why the Germans are going ahead and the Dutch have scrapped it. It's because the government have got involved and said, nope, away you go. But UEFA have relaxed their rules a little bit. UEFA's rules have always been, if a government gets involved in the running of football, you're getting punished. Clubs won't get into the Champions League, countries won't get to play in the Euro Championships or World Cup qualifiers or anything like that. And UEFA have been strict with that before, but they've relaxed it now and said, look, if a government stops you playing live sports, it's fine, you can still compete in the European football next season, which is, boy, a relief to a lot of people involved in football. So the Dutch football is scrapped. Now, the Premier League's behind closed doors thing. There's more stuff coming out today in the last 24 hours that the Premier League are really cracking on with the behind closed doors football. I don't think it's far away. I don't think players returning to training is far away. I get a feeling over the last few days people are starting to not take the law into their own hands, but they're starting to bend the rules a little bit. 2 exercises a day instead of 1. Non-essential shopping trips. Going back to work, I think people are starting to go outside a little bit more than they were supposed to, or they are supposed to currently. So I think that's sort of, we're edging back there now. It won't be long, I think, until Premier League clubs start bringing their players back in. Not to normal training. Like I said, they might get a handful of players in different days just for fitness checkups and whatever, and they'll do fitness work, no contact and stuff. I think we're not far away from that now with the Premier League. I noticed that they're insisting on this. This is my own idea. Obviously, it's not going to go anywhere. I'm just putting it out there. They're insisting that the football gets shown free to air. I don't necessarily agree with that. I know that's possibly going to be unpopular here, but I almost feel like I don't know, as a season ticket holder, as people that buy match tickets, we're expected to pay to watch. Now I know we're not going to sit in the ground and watch it, so it's not quite the same. So I'm not saying we should be paying £50 to watch West Ham versus Aston Villa on the streaming app, but I think getting what BT and Sky have signed up for in terms of amount of games, I think they should get that honoured. But after that, I think it should go to a streaming service which people pay for, to be honest with you. And I know this is the unpopular bit, but I'd like the money to go to lower league clubs, not the Premier League clubs. So if we pay, I don't know, £3 a game or something, I don't know how much it costs, because the lower league clubs, the English Football League, have the iFollow player. So if you support Burton Albion, you can watch all of Burton's games on a streaming app. And I don't know what it costs, truth be told. And then Burton gets some of the money, and the other team gets some of the money. It's split. I believe it's split like it's home and away, to be honest with you. So if Burton are away to like Portsmouth, I think Portsmouth get 90% of the money and Burton get 10% or something. I could be wrong. No, I am wrong. Burton's fans sign up to Burton's streaming service, and this is really tricky. Let me explain it a bit better. So we as a West Ham fan signed up to a West Ham iFollow. West Ham would get our money, but West Ham played Wolves. Wolves would get their fans' money, if that makes sense. So in the Premier League is not such an issue, but obviously lower league, Sunderland obviously are the biggest club in League One, so they get most of the money from iFollow compared to the other clubs. So what I'd like for the Premier League to do is set up their streaming service, but instead of West Ham and Wolves getting the money, it goes into a kitty, and that kitty gets divvied up between all the English Football League clubs to help them out, because they're the ones that are really financially struggling a little bit, and Premier League clubs can afford to play behind closed doors. Premier League clubs can afford to chuck a bit of money at it. Now what that is, whether it's paying a kit man to work at home, whether it's an extra physio or whatever, we can afford to pay whatever it costs to get football played. I'm not sure if Football League clubs can do that. I'm not sure they can chuck cash at this in the same way that Premier League clubs do. So I'd like to see the money filtered down to help them out and get them over for next season, really. The National League's been cancelled as well, so there's only 4 leagues left in England. They're running out. I think the Premier League is not that far away. But points per game, good for European spaces, but let's just leave it there. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. It helps us out. Last night, myself and Gonzo done a video, which is on your screen now. Our 1000th video on this channel, which makes this the 1001th. Tomorrow night, we've got a quiz. We've got a quiz tomorrow night, West Ham quiz. So come back, join us, pen, paper, drink. Come and join me and Gonzo. A couple of different rounds, you've not seen them before. I've literally just come up with them in the last 24 hours. And some rounds that you have seen in the previous 2 West Ham quizzes. So, should be fun. Should be. It's up to me if it's fun. Hopefully it's fun. Hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you tomorrow night. Catch you in a bit.